Hello, my friends, and welcome to the first 2025 episode of On the Grass.
Man, it's nice to be out there on the grass.
That's right, our beloved team, the Bears, is now back on the grass after an eventful offseason in which they once again were the champs. Undisputed offseason champs 3 years running from my count. I am Dave Swerski, nephew of the legendary Bob Swerski, and I have to start out today by thanking you all. As you know, we lost my Uncle Bob recently, and this hit this old superfan pretty hard. But your support and kind words helped me get back to here, doing what I do for you all, continuing to spread the good word of the super fandom far and wide for all who enjoy to consume it. Those of you who let me know that me carrying on the legacy of my uncle here for a new generation of superfans was important to you truly helped me process and heal from the loss. While there will remain a superfan-sized hole in my heart as I carry on, I will indeed carry on due to your support of my work. Special shout out to Uncle Carl, who I know was hit hard by this news too and sent his love and support as well upon hearing the gut-wrenching news. So, to Uncle Bob, the last game he witnessed of our beloved team was beating our rival, the Green Bay Packers, on the road in Lambeau Field. A fitting send-off for the greatest superfan I ever did know. So wherever you are, my friends, watching this here video, raise a glass of whatever you got with you and join me in this cheers to celebrate a life well lived and a legacy that will never be forgotten. Say it with me now, my friends, for Uncle Bob, the Bears. I spent the last few weeks wondering where I go from here, but I've decided I need to jump right back in and update you on a lot of the cool things I've got cooking here for year 3 of the Dave Swerski Superfan experience. And as I do that, I want to thank those of you who have been with me here from the beginning. Your support right off the bat, along with that of my Uncle Bob, really got me going and kept me working hard at this. So now, as we enter year 3, what can you do to help me keep this going, you ask? Well, first off, make sure you've subscribed and that you've liked this video, you know, for the algorithm. And if you're feeling the spirit of the super fandom moving you, also please do share this with your friends so that the super fandom continues to grow. And I've got a very exciting announcement to make on a major way you can help me out to keep this up. My friends, I've launched a whole new Dave Swerski store that is under my own management. Go check it out at daveswerskistore.com to see the whole new collection. I've designed over 100 new products for you all where you can showcase your support of this here project through the wearing of the shirts, the cartoon shirt, the station shades, the hats, and the drinking of the beverages, and so much more. I'm beyond pleased with the products themselves, as I have ordered some too just to make sure it all worked right before I had you all jump in. Here's a new one, a tour shirt of all the parodies penned by yours truly last year, singing the blues. I got some Chi-Town Pope merch, the Bears merch, and of course a whole lot of the Swerski Station Shades logo that was drawn by hand by yours truly as well. I heard your suggestions from my merch update in March on long sleeve tees, youth merch, and much more, and took all that into account with the new store design. And you have my word that I will keep on updating the offerings as we go. I even created a collection for our friends who root for our rivals in the North. It's called the NFC North Envy Collection. So if you have a friend who roots for those teams, maybe they need a "We wish we had a Swerski tee," because we know this is true. The Envy. And I've heard that Father's Day is coming up. The link is in the description and in my bio. And when people see you on the street sporting this new merch and ask you, "Hey, what's that Station Shades logo for?" you can tell them, go to daveswerskistore.com and get yourself some merch, my friend. Also, keep in mind another way you can help support what I'm doing here is to book a cameo for you or your pops. I'm over there and taking requests. Again, link in the description and bio, so check that out too. And as always, thank you from the bottom of my Superfan heart to all who have already purchased the new merch and to those who have booked me on Cameo in the past. Your support is the only way I'm able to keep on going and make the time to do this work. Okay, that's all the updates. So let's get into it, shall we? Bears. As I'm sure you all know, our Bears are back. And they are on the grass working together as a full unit this very week under the tutelage of our new, currently unstashed, but I'm hoping that changes in the future, head coach, Ben Johnson. The coach. Excitement abounds as he begins to install his offense and turn this thing around for our Bears this season. Minicamp is wrapping up as I speak these words to you, and word on the street is Ben Johnson is a freak about these guys being on the little things and the details as they begin to work together of putting this offense in place. And from the interviews I've watched with the fellas, it's a welcome change of pace from where we were last year. From making them re-break the huddle if the play isn't called right, to making sure the body language of everyone is the way he wants it. The coach sounds like he's running a tight ship, and everyone is doing their best to get it right. This pleases me, my friends. We all know that last year, through all the excitement we felt at the new additions, it just didn't look great as things unraveled. There's a lot of blame to go around, to be sure, but it's fun to see these guys who are there through that debacle get another chance and a fresh start. And it's very exciting to see the mix of new seasoned vets sprinkled into that mix, along with the addition of the rookies coming in to learn and mix in with it all as well. I, for one, am pretty pumped up at the prospect of our beloved team taking a major leap forward this upcoming season. Now, since we last spoke here, there was another development which became headline-making news which we should address too. So it turns out there's an upcoming book by Seth Wickersham of ESPN which features some bold quotes from Caleb Williams and his dad. Some stuff I won't rehash here because it's been beat to death already, but something about wanting to play for O'Connell in Minnesota and how Chicago is where QBs go to die. And you know what? I'm just gonna say it, my friends. They had a point. I love this team with every fiber of my being. I've loved them through the up years and the down years. Through Super Bowl appearances, there's been two. One I remember and one I was in the diapers, but it is plural. And true to we didn't make the playoffs yet again droughts. I still always talked myself into this team being the greatest franchise in the history of sports, cause it is Bears. But let's be real. Our team has had a tumultuous history at the most important position on the field my entire life, and even going back to before I was in this world. And being Caleb's age, he's only witnessed the dysfunction of the last few decades himself. So who could blame the presumptive and eventual #1 pick in the NFL draft of having some reservations initially about coming to a place that hasn't been able to get this piece of the puzzle right? Do I like that he thought Minnesota had a better situation to walk into? Of course not. I would have loved to have that better situation with one of the best pass catchers in his prime and a play caller at the helm who everyone who's ever worked with says is legit. But that wasn't our situation, my friends. Nope. We had Daflus and Waldron. But here's the most important part of that story as I see it. Once Caleb came to Chicago and Poles told him his vision, Caleb decided he wanted this challenge. He wanted to be in Chicago, even with Flus and Shane. And that is all that really matters. He's here. We got him. And the fact that he knew this wasn't going to be a cakewalk means he was up for the challenge of flipping the tired old script of the Bears being a place where QBs go to die. And through an up and down year that still saw him finish 5th all-time in yards for a Bear last year and set the rookie record for yards for a QB, now Caleb and the rest of the Bears from last year got what we can hope is our version of a KOC in Minnesota. A play caller who everyone in the league respects and places in the top tier of play designing and execution. Ben Johnson. And with that, a highly respected defensive coordinator who knows how to be a head coach and coordinator in Dennis Allen, and an assistant head coach who gets it and is from here in Antoine Randall L, and a running backs coach who has had major heat around him to become a head coach sooner than later in Eric Bieniemy, and the list goes on. Now, I was excited for 2024 and the new look Bears, highlighted by the draft picks of Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze, but I'm freaking bursting at the thought of the 2025 Bears and how much of an improvement looks entirely possible on paper at this point. Now, we are only at the stage of being back on the grass currently, and minicamp isn't a full padded scrimmage to really see where we're at. But my excitement is very, very high as we start to see this team come together. Some of the most major question marks and holes from last year have been addressed, or at least on paper. Read about the lines. A lot can happen before the season, of course, but going from our offensive line of last year to one led by a veteran who has Super Bowl rings and having true depth and competition to wonder who will actually win out into starting five is exciting. And that defensive line went from a liability last year without enough to surround Montez and Dexter to again one that now has enough depth and skill to truly wonder who will be the starters and who will rotate in because they have a ton more talent now than they did last year. No stability on both lines on both sides of the ball. A choice of amazing weapons on offense and a loaded defense at the skill positions. A mentor and veteran presence in the QB room to help Caleb. All this got this Superfan high on hope again. And no book release or quote from a dad will derail this excitement, my friends. Let's go! So now that minicamp has wrapped up, the next thing on the schedule is another set of OTAs next week, and then training camp, which will be in late July. I'm fired up and ready to go into season 3 of my work supporting a team looking to turn things around and shock the sports world. Also, did you see what Aaron Rodgers had to say about our beloved team? I just may have something to say about that very soon, my friends. Stay tuned. Da parodies. Well, that's gonna do it for me today, my friends. I want to thank all of you who made it here to the end with me. If that's you, drop a the bears in the comments below to let me know you got through this with me. Make sure to go check out the new merch. Currently, the best sellers are the rocks glass and the can koozies, so I'm glad to see my friends are staying hydrated. Bears. As always, be kind to each other and be kind to yourself too. And go Bears! I'll see you soon, my friends. Da Bears, 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 da Bears. Hey, this whole season's to you, Uncle Bob. Oh, you're still here. Hopefully you've clicked this to subscribe. And when you're done, click this and check out another video. Bears. That's all I got, friends. Check out our merch store. Bye for now.